What is it to be a man? Is being a man about being tough? Is it all about being a caretaker or provider? Is it about being a father? Since becoming a father, I've constantly wondered and asked myself what it means to be a man. Here I am, responsible for showing another human being what it means to be a man, to be the first and, I hope, most influential example of how a man interacts with every other thing on this planet, and I have only an ever-changing idea of what I stand for and believe in as an individual. As I try to figure this out, I look back on the influential people in my life and try to discern what parts or traits of theirs that I have tried to emulate in my own life, hoping that this will give me some sort of checklist that I can try to emphasize for my own son. I think of my father, a man that simply wasn't prepared to care for me at the time that I came along. After my early years, when every other weekend turned into a weekend every few months, which turned into, let's not pretend you're actually my son anymore, when I reached high school and stopped biting my tongue concerning how I felt about him. From my father, I realized that every person's struggle is different, and that we all walk our own journey through this life, and that at the end of the day, you have to believe that everyone is really doing the best that they can with what they've got. From my father, I learned understanding. I think of my brothers, both still figuring out where and how they will navigate this world as men. Since he was a child, my brother Austin has always been a protector. Smaller children, bugs, lizards, flowers. I can't think of a single instance in my life where my brother has damaged or defiled another living thing, not given the last that he had to someone in need, or given the benefit of the doubt to someone, even if everyone else knew that person didn't deserve it. From my brother Austin, I've learned kindness and compassion. From the same age, my brother Morgan has attacked life with ferocity. Even as a child, Morgan has looked at any obstacle without fear, carrying with him an innate belief that any hurdle, no matter how high, could be overcome. If not by jumping or getting a ladder to climb over, then simply by exerting his will upon it until the hurdle decides that its best bet is to lower itself to a more manageable height, lest it get chopped down by Morgan's want for it to be lower. From my brother Morgan, I learned intensity. I think of my stepfather, the definition of a jack of all trades. He's been a teacher, grocer, mayor, electrician, landscaper, and coach. He taught me that true intelligence listens first and talks second. That doing a job half-assed is a terrible thing, not only because you have to redo it later, but because that permeates into other aspects of your life, and the next thing you know, that's how people remember you. He taught me never to pressure your children into doing things that you like, but to read their interests and then pour yourself into their passions. He taught me that if you lead with your heart and care about people and what you do, that everything will work out. From my stepfather, I learned versatility and hard work. I think of my mother, the single most influential person in my life, and without question the human being that I've learned the most from about what it means to be a man. My mother taught me to live a life that embraces the emotions, laughing loudly with the highs, crying cathartically with the lows, and meeting those that mean you and yours harm with an anger that is never to be trifled with. She's engulfed me in her arms through heartbreaks and breakups, reprimanded me with firm, fair punishment, and celebrated my successes with more zeal than she would celebrate her own. The woman who has given me everything she has for every moment of my life. From my mother, I learned about loyalty and loving unconditionally. In the end, I've realized that what it means to be a man is no different than what it means to be a woman. The things that I value, kindness and compassion, loyalty and understanding, intensity, versatility, hard work, and unconditional love, aren't just things that I associate with being a good man. They're things that I associate with being a good human being and a valuable member of this planet. In my journey to figure out how to be a good example of a man for Maxwell, I realized that the best that I can do, the best any of us can do, is to be an example of a really good person. That working hard to be a great human being is all any of us can ask of ourselves, and if successful, that example will be our most lasting legacy and memory for those that we interact with, no matter how small or large the interaction. Maya Angelou said that at the end of the day, people won't remember what you said or did, they'll remember how you made them feel. With all the hate and evil in the world, if we can be good people and impact those we interact with positively, one at a time we can make a difference. If I can make this difference with everyone in my life, with Max, my students, family, friends, and strangers, then I will be proud of my example of what being a man is, and hope someday that Max will be proud of that example too.
They taught me something else. If you preach hate at the service, those words aren't anointed. That holy water.